Yeah, yeah. You know what it is? Little new Jack back in the building. Throw your X's up for the late great new Jack. Throw your X's up for the late great DMX. Woo! You come to watch show. You come to watch real stuff. You come to watch real entertainment. You come to watch me. Oh yeah. We talking about Shock G, the one with the satin in your jaws. Then round and round, up and down. About to get my swerve on. So your swerve on. You got five on it. A Shock G. So here we go. From the, where you from? Oakland. It gave us good hits by singing Amazing Verse. And I got five on that remix and gave us Round and Round with Tupac. Now we're gonna talk about the life and history of Shock G. You know what it is. We ain't gonna be like we're gonna get paid. But yeah, there you go, coming up. Born August 25th, 1963 in New York, New York. Died April 22nd, 2021 in Tampa, Florida. Yeah, you know what it is. Gregory Edwards Jacobs, born Gregory Edwards Racker, August 25th, 1963, April 22nd, 2021. Known professionally as Shock G, and his alter ego, Humpty Hump. His name is Humpty, keeps his oatmeal lumpy. Was an American rapper and musician who was the best known by the lead vocalist of the hip hop group Digital Underground. Round. He was responsible for Digital Underground's The Humpty Dance, Tupac's breakthrough single I Get Around, and co-producer Tupac's debut solo album, Tupacalypse Now, in 1991. Also known as Humpty Hump, Piano Man, Rockadelic, Shy G, MC Star Child, MC Blowfish, Gregory Racker, Icy Mike, Peanut Akeem, of course, born Edward Jacobs, August 25th, 1963, in New York City, U.S. Original or just Oakland, California. Died April 22nd, 2021. Age 57 in Tampa, Florida, U.S. Yes. Yeah, genres: West Coast hip hop, alternate hip hop, funk, psychedelic rap, occupation, rapper, musician, singer, record producer, entertainer, cartoonist. Instruments, vocals, piano, keyboards, years after 1984 to 2021. Labels: TNT, Tommy Boy, formerly the Digital Underground. Here, his early life. Gregory Edwards Racker was born on August 25th, 1963 in Queens, New York. He spent most of his childhood moving around East Coast with his family, eventually settling in Tampa, Florida. As a drummer, he won the 1978 Most Talented Trophy of Greco Junior High School. As a result of his parents' divorce, he later relocated back to New York City. There he traded his drums in for a set of turntables upon discovering a marveling over hip hop while the art form was still in the underground developmental stage. He was mentored in the craft by his cousin Renee Negron, God bless him, also known as DJ Stretch, and their close friends Sean Frone, known as MC Shy T, and of the parody rap group No Face, who suggested Craig use the name Shy G. Jacobs liked the idea but mistakenly thought his friend said Shock G and began using that name instead. After returning to Tampa less than 2 years later, he dropped out of Chamberlain High School to form the Master Platicus, a mobile DJ crew which featured 3 DJs and 4 MCs at its height. They performed at the parties for the crowds at River Tank Parks. Yay. Outdoor Sunday gatherings, eventually capturing the interest of Tony Stone, a program director at WTMP Radio, which was the city's primary R&B station. Stone offered Jacobs, who was 16 at the time, a Jacob DJing, D to the JING, for you and me. With that, with the two. You and me, baby, on it. And for a short while, as Gregory Racker, he was the youngest radio personality in Central Florida with a regular time slot after being fired for playing the 15-minute long album version of Not Just Knee Deep by Funkadelics. You know this, shout out to North Carolina's own, my boy, George Clinton. May the funk be with you. On a 5-minute time slot, and also after tensions with his father escalated, Jacobs found himself backpacking the United States for a few years, drifting through odd jobs and petty criminal adventures. It was during the incarceration that his focus switched from DJing to keyboard playing while utilizing piano practice in rooms and music stores and colleagues around the country. He effectively taught himself to play the piano. Deciding to pursue music seriously, he returned home, attained a diploma, and began attending Hillsbury Community College (HCC), where he studied music theory under Jim Bergs, the piano under Patricia J. Twice. It was there at HCC that he met and formed a bond with Kenneth Waters, and the two began performing together under various names, including the Chill Factor and also the Four Horsemen, including MC Scooby D. Shout out to Scooby D. Scooby D, the man. Give props to Scooby D and MD Dazzling Doc P, who had recently moved to Tampa from the Bronx in 1985 after 2 years of producing local artists for hire, playing solo piano gigs around town, performing with Waters and being a keyboardist in Warren Allen Brooks' band. Jacobs' aspiring actress girlfriend, Davita Watts, eloped, shout out to Davita Watts, in Los Angeles in search of greater opportunity. There he played keyboards in Kenny McLeod's pop funk band Oxygen before leaving Los Angeles and arriving in San Francisco Bay Area. Shouting to E40, The Looms, Yuck Mouth the Business, Numbskull, Spice One, of course, Shot G, The Bay, in Oakland. Shout out to the Bay, Oakland. Goes E40 and Albany. He found the work in the Oakland music store and where his group, Digital Underground, would form a few years later. The career. Let's go. Career time. Digital Underground. After relocating to Oakland, California, Shot G formed Digital Underground along with Chop Master J and Kenneth Waters, also known as Kenny K. After around 15 months, unsuccessful negotiations with various small record companies in 1988, the trio released 12-hit single on Makela Records. It featured Your Life's a Cartoon as the side and Underwater Rhymes as the B-side. Both songs were penned, produced, and performed by Jacobs, who sketched the cartoonist. Cover illustrations, the recording including the logo for Digital Underground startup label TNT, as well as McCullough's logo. TNT was founded by Tupac Shakur, peace, management CEO at Tron Gregory in 1989. The group signed with Tommy Boy Records and released Do What You Like, receiving minimal radio airplay but becoming an underground hit. His video was more successful, reaching number 40 on the MTV's Top 100 Videos for the year. Do What You Like paved the way for Digital Underground's debut solo studio album, Sex Packets, and the highest charting song of their career, The Humpty Dance. Do the Humpty Hump. Samoans do the Humpty Hump. Black people do the Humpty Hump. Doing the Humpty Hump. They're like, look, I'm saying I'm gonna crack G. My name is Humpty. I like my oatmeal lumpy. Both released in the early 1990s, and each achieving platinum sales certification by the RIAA. The latter was rapped by Humpty Hump, the most flamboyant of Shock G's several alter egos. By the time Digital Underground had expanded significance with DJ Fuse, Money B, and Movie Smooth, joined the group, and with the remaining Pee Wee Goodman and Tupac Shakur joining by 1991. Other identities. Jacobs performed under many aliases. He developed also over his career, resulting in characters that were maintained with such reality that were believed to be separate people by both fans and industry insiders. While he rapped in a normal voice as Shot G, as something Hump, he adopted more nasal sound as part of this character's exaggerated buffoon persona that included garnished clubs in Groucho glasses with a large rubber nose attached. A fictional biography was included in Digital Underground's press kit stating that Humpty Hump's real name was Edward Ellington Humphrey III, and he wore the Groucho glasses after burning his nose in a deep fryer accident. Jacobs made public appearances as one person or the other, but as live shows, the video shoots, he would use a stand-in or camera tricks to maintain the illusions. Jacobs sometimes performed as other characters include MC Blowfish, Icy Mike, the Computer Woman, Butterfly, and Peanut Hakeem. Television and film works. Shock G appearances including It's Showtime at the Apollo in 1992. Several the Arsenio Hall Show performances between 1990 and 1994, and several live MTV performances, including MTV Spring Break 1990 and Daytona Beach. Yo, MTV Raps performed. That's when I was born, 1990. Performed live with Ed Lover and Dr. Dre in 1991, Club MTV Live with Downtown Julie Brown. And shout out to Downtown Julie Brown in 1992 and MTV Jams in 1994. Most of these consisted of music performances with either Digital Underground or Tupac. However, on an episode of 1991 sitcom Drexel's Class, Jacobs played a small role as a furnace repairman in the show's storyline. Entitled character Otis Drexel insists that the furnace repairman looks exactly like Humpty Hump, but neither nor his co-worker Jason Priestley have heard of any such hip-hop artist, especially not one such as ridiculous name. The episode ends in a live performance of Digital Underground. No nose job. On a cruise ship full of Sports Illustrated swimsuit models, which is presented as a scene from one of Drexel's dreams, which is fellow Digital Underground group members Jacobs appeared and Dan Aykroyd's directed 1991 comedy film Nothing But Trouble. That's a good movie. I remember I grew up off that movie. Appearance for both Shock G and Humpty Hump. The group included Tupac Shakur. Yeah. Made a cameo performance as well as played a small role in the film as themselves. Jacobs has appeared in a handful of musical documentaries, including Doug Angel, Life of an Outlaw 2000, about Tupac Shakur, and Parliament Funkadelics, One Nation Under a Groove 2005, about George Clinton and P-Funk, Mike A. My Funk, cousin of G-Funk, and my church funk, both of which received heavy TV rotation and both of which relied heavily on Jacobs' commentary. On June 21st, 2011, Shock G was featured on the episode of the podcast You Had to Be There with comedians Nikki Glaser and Sarah Schaefer. Albums: Fear of a Mixed Planet, 2004, 33rd Street Records. Fear of a Mixed Planet, Bonus Edition, 2008, Jake Records, and Digital Underground. Production, solo work, and misconciliations. Addition to the work of Digital Underground, Shock G found moderate success as a solo artist and music producer in 1993. Shock G produced Tupac Shakur's breakthrough album single, I Get Around, Round and Round. I have to say, those are breaking that. Get those are checks here to say that. I don't want that easy. Be back in a jippy. Round and round we go. Hit that like as you go to the funky fresh flow with love, peace, and harmony. 24. I Get Around Well started a single music video and went to produce Tupac So Many Tears from his multi-platinum 1995 album Me Against the World. And Tupac's first published work, as well as still a member of Digital Underground, when he appeared on the 1991 song and video Same Song, which also appeared as Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, and Demi Moore film Nothing But Trouble. Shock G produced Tupac's debut album, Tupacalypse Now. Shock G appeared as a producer and guest artist of fellow Oakland-based rap group The Looms. Platinum debut release Operation Stacola in 1994. I was 4 years old. Also, 95, I was 4 years old. Also appeared as a guest MC in I Got Five on It, Babe Ballers remix and video. In 1996, the Wayans Bros. Film Don't Be a Menace to South Central by drinking your juice in the hood featured the Shock G song We Got More. The song, which featured Oakland rappers Lunez, was used for 3 separate scenes in the film and is featured in 2 places of the soundtrack in 1998. Prince included a Shock G produced love sign on his triple CD Crystal Ball album. Shock G has toured and performed on stage with George Clinton and P Funk. Yay. including guest performance with Clayton and Woodstock 1999. In 2003, Shot G produced the single Risky Business for Los Angeles underground artist Murs and also appeared in the video as himself and as Humpty Hump. Murs performed the song live for Shot G at the Paid Dues Festival and also featured him as a stage DJ slash music conductor on a 2-month extensive definitive Juke label US and Canada tour. On January 20th, 2009, Shot G singles Cherry Flavor Email was renamed and released as a special edition called Cherry Flavor Election to commemorate the inauguration of President Barack Obama. So it's Disco Walking Free, bringing love and peace for Jesus, God, for you and me. Studio albums, production discography, Digital Underground. Albums, 1996 Package, 1991, this is an EP release. 1991, Sons of the P. 1993, The Body Hate Hat Syndrome. 1996, Future Rhythm. 1998, Who Got the Gravy. 1999, The Lost Files. 2008, Cuz at DU, Party Don't Stop. 2010, The Green Light EP. Songs, 1987, Your Life's a Cartoon, featuring Digital Underground. 1988, Underwater Rims, featuring Digital Underground. 1989, Do What You Like, featuring Digital Underground. 1990, Don't Funk with the Mo remix, featuring Money Love. Telling Time, Mike Raps, featuring Dr. Dre and Michael Conception. God almighty. All right, here we go. Telling Time, Mike Raps, Dr. Dre. All right, What You Do What You Like, Shot G remix, Tupac, Digital Underground. 1991, Rockin' with PM, Raw Fusion, Rebel of the Underground, Words of Wisdom, The Lunatic, Tupac. 1993, I Get Around, Tupac, Digital Underground. Get Away remix featured Bobby Brown. 1995, So Many Tears, F the World, Tupac and Shark G. PYT, Swing It to the Left Side, Smooth, Broke Hell, B. 5150, Lunez, Funk Session, Too Short, and Shark G. 1996, We Got Mo, Shark G and Lunez. Don't Ring My Bell, Lunez. Gloomy Sunday, Mystic. Nothing Has Changed, Digital Underground. People Over the Stairs, Shark G, Pick Apart. Clue, Common Bounce, Shay. 1997, True Players. Boy Riders, Cause I Had to, Tupac and P9. Unreleased 1998, Love Sign Prince, Broad Minded, Send Your Signal, Mr. No No. 1999, Crowd Before Your Ball, Liquor, Oh Magnet, Running Man, featuring So Far. 2000, Do What You Want, Rhythm and Green, Let the Beat Breathe, It's Gonna Chill. 2001, Chassis, featuring Mac Hall. 2002, Bust Gus, Metaphorical, Physical. Yeah, Metaphysical. 2002, Bust Gus, Metaphysical, I should say. 2002, God Comes, Mr. Next. 2003, Risky Business, Merge. 2004, Smiling Faces, KRS-One. You know, Mr. Knowledge reigns supreme over everyone. Guest appearances, 1989, Love Talk, featuring and Taylor Collins. 1999, We Are the Same Gang, featuring West Coast All Stars. Time for Peace, and Davey D. Paris and Tech Sway. Yeah, Time for Peace featuring David D in Paris, Tech and Sway. 1991, Trap Tupac, Throw Your Hands in the Air, Funkaterior, Raw Fusion. 1992, Money, Go Money. 1993, I Get Around, Tupac, Close the Crack House, Professor X, Wise Intelligence, Big Daddy Kane, Chuck D, Rhythm and Rhythm, George Clinton, Paint the White House Black, George Clinton, Ice Cube, Cam, Yo Yo, Dr. Dre, Public Enemy, Booba Curly. 1994, Freaky Note, Do Your Homework, Dirty Draws, Raw Fusion, Original Lesson, Ben Sardrin, Shark G. The Original Lesson, Ben Sardrin, Shark G. Yeah, 1995, I Got Five on it, Remix, 5150, Lunez, Funk Says, Too Short, F the World, Tupac, Black Book, African Identity, 1996, Knee Drop, Deep in the Mud AF, Uncle, Remix, Motherfunker, Deep, Knee Deep, Midnight Mixtape, George Clinton, We Got More, Lunez and Shock G. 1999, Glazed Donut Face, featuring C-Funk. Mr. Bartender featuring Money B. Crawl Before You Bow featuring Safari. SAAFIR, just in case you want to check that rapper out. 2000, No DNA featuring Clee and Drink a Lot. 2001, Chassis featuring Mac Mall. 2002, Woods, Crack-a-Lackin', Two Twice. It's spelled TWICE, just in case you want to check that out. Risky Business, 2003, Murs. 2003, Way of the Life of a Style from Stylophonic, I should say. At the next new show segment, a lot. 2004, Snake in the Apple, Stuck. 2004, Whose Microphone, The Humpty Dance, That's Dirty Remix, Split 50. 2005, Career Finest, Presbyterians, Say What You Say, Summer Rosa, California Girls Dipped in Chocolate, Slap Back, Freaky Pumps, Fat Lips, City to City, Straw, The Love Letters, Tupac, Rapping Forte, Assassins, Wizards of Mr. Rockefeller, If You True, Pain and Misery Remix, Inertia, Shock G included, Tupac, Shock G's outro, Hidden Track, Assassins Ray Love, Tupac, Shock G interlude, Tupac, Shock G's outro, Hidden Track, Assassins Ray Love, Tupac, said that, California Dreamer, San Juan, Assassin. If you want, it's SANQUIN. If you want to find that song out, that'd be the name of the artist. How you spell it? Plainfield, Prince, Paul, Burnell, South Prince Paul, Crazy Maddie, Laura, and Lights of Love. If you're liking this, hit the like button while we show you love. Light of Love, Yummy, Lady Alma, On the Flow, Big Sharp, Cutter Lane, JC, Keep It P, I, Feet Mr. Fab, and Mo Green, Digital Underground, videos, Do What You Like, 1989, The Humpty Dance, 1989, Do What You Like, video remix, 1990, same song, 1991, Kiss Your Back, 1991, a hit like that is Sharper Than Crack, one of my favorite songs. No Nose Job, 1992. Return of the Crazy One, 1993. What's Up with the Love, 1994. Aringo Flow, 1996. Walk Real Cool, 1996. Wind Me Up, 1998. Feature guest videos appearances. We Are the Same Gang, 1990. West Coast All Stars, Throw Your Hands in the Air, 1991. Raw Fusion, Trap, 1991. Tupac. Money, 1992. Gold Money, Close the Crack House, 1992. 1993. No, that was right, 1992. X-Clan, It's Gonna Give It To You. It's a New Jack Swing. I Get Around, 1993. Tupac featuring Digital Underground. No Brothers Allowed, 1994. No Face, I Got 5 on it. Babe Ballers Remix, the remix. Okay. 1995 Luminous, and shout out to the producer that produced that produced Cool as a Mofo, Cool Humble Dude. Temptations, 1995, Tupac, Risky Business, 2003, Murs, Hit the Streets, 2003, Element, City to City, 2005, Straw the Vegas Don, Crazy, 2008, Matty Lure, DVDs, at the time I said, I got late DVDs, Nothing But Trouble, 1991, Doug Angel, The Life of the Outlaw, 2000. That was a good DVD. Check it out. Tupac Resurrection 2003. Check that DVD out too. I love how they mix the late great Tupac and Biggie's verses for different songs, put it together. And we go there, tell them MC sent you. Digital Underground, Raw and Uncut 2004. Parliament / Funkadelic, One Nation Under a Groove 2005. And that's the story of Humpty Hump. You know what it is. We're going to bring the pain for you. Hardcore to the brain. Got the polo on the shirt, yellow on the skin like a yellow bee stinging with this knowledge. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification. We out. We do this for DMX and New Jack. Up here for New Jack. And right here for DMX. Their signatures. God bless my hometown hero. God rest his soul. Passed on in 2020. Or 2021. New Jack. God rest DMX. So we do this for y'all. Of course, got his Biggie, Easy, and Tupac Soul, Big Pun, Prodigy, Nipsey Hussle, Big L. Who else? XC. Of course, Buffy from doggone the Fat Boys, Prince Marquis.